Welcome back, everyone. This is Dave from the Core Productions Deep Dive TV podcast. My co-host Stacie here talking about the original Quantum Leap Season 5, Episode 21, titled Memphis Melody. The episode's description reads as follows. While impersonating the king, Elvis Presley, Sam must save a Memphis belle from a bad marriage. The episode is written by Robin Bernheim, the final effort of 5 assignments in the series, all occurring during this season. The episode is directed by James Whitmore Jr., This is his second to last. This is not his last assignment because he will be directing the series finale, the very next episode. The episode takes place on July 3rd, 1954, and originally aired on April 20th, 1993. Now, I did notice something very curious about these air dates. Okay. This was like almost a month after the previous episode.
Right.
And it's going to be a couple weeks before the finale airs.
Right.
I don't remember it being that long. I remember it being one after the other, not like having to wait 3 weeks for the next episode to come out.
Well, this is when they were like putting them on at random days, and no wonder nobody watched them.
Yes, yeah, yep.
I mean, this doesn't sound all that different from something NBC did recently with modern shows.
Yeah.
Where you don't know when the next episode's going to be on.
Right.
What day or time or week even.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was a frequent complaint about another NBC series that actually went the distance, and that would be This Is Us.
Right.
Before we go any further, I'll tell you a couple of things. One, this is not a sport-free podcast. If you haven't watched the episode, I highly recommend you go and check it out. And then come back and give us a listen. Secondly, if you're listening on the platforms this podcast now available on, please follow and feel free to check out our YouTube channel, Core Productions, where additional content can be discovered, both Quantum Leap related and otherwise. If you're already on our YouTube channel, please like, share, and comment, and subscribe to our channel. All right, shout-outs this week.
All right.
We got Ashley Wright, who said he started to watch my videos on this subject since episode 1, and he's looking forward to our show on the last one. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, he has indeed been one of my followers since the beginning. Alpha, while this episode about the Civil War is well timed, given recent events, let us remember the love story between a Union man and a Confederate woman. Yeah, I'm not really commenting on anything that's going on right now, other than to say that there's some things that are going on right now that are not particularly good.
I think that's universally agreeable upon.
Yes. Regardless of where you stand politically, things are not headed in a very particularly great direction. And then he says, John Adams, just a coincidence of a common name. John Adams was the second president of the United States and was long dead. His son, John Quincy Adams of Massachusetts, was the sixth president of the United States and was a fierce abolitionist, so he would not have fought with the Confederates. He too was dead prior to the Civil War, having died in 1848, the same year as the great state of Wisconsin was admitted to the Union. I think I'm a little bit embarrassed to not realize that this was not the same John Adams, but
you tripped me up for a minute, but I did get there before we moved on.
Mm-hmm. Mustard seeds have a mild anti-inflammatory effects, along with willow bark, which contains the same chemical found in aspirin. Willow bark is probably better, though. Apply actual mustard to your wound, and it acts as an antiseptic. Accidentally spill some on your favorite shirt if you want to permanently stain the shirt like I did. All right, that's all very good advice. How about does it work on burns? I'm asking for a friend, not for me. Totally not.
Is your bird not gotten any better?
It's got a little bit better. For those who are not aware, which should be everybody, I burned myself at work. But anyway, and he says, congrats on 1 million, Dave and Stacie. Thank you for that, and thank you for your contribution to that video. Which it should have already dropped.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Our 1 million view celebration party, which has, I'm going to say, dozens of special guests.
Yep. And Doctor Who TV fan says, this episode makes me think of the episode of Futurama where they go back in time and Fry sleeps with his grandmother. Well, I'm glad that's not what we saw in this episode. But Mimi Gallup also had a very long comment. She says, thank you for the shout out on the most recent podcast, the Classic Quantum Leap series. I remember hearing Scott Bakula tell an interviewer that he had wanted to do an episode that centered on Martin Luther King Jr. Maybe this episode was as close as he could get to that dream, and maybe his coworkers and the producer knew this and added that in at the end of this episode. Can't wait for the next podcast. I can't get Netflix on this phone because it's not at a higher level for that. I sure wish it would be. Then I would watch the new Quantum Leap. Sorry that I missed your Zoom event. I usually watch you and your podcast when I'm in bed. Well, maybe you may have missed out on it, but you can still be a part of it by watching it because it's a couple days back now. Go check it out. I'm sure you're not going to watch all 3 hours of it, but plenty of good stuff there.
But there's lots. It's very Quantum Leap centric. Our party turned.
It did
unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
So those of you who are listening now, our Quantum Leap fandom, you've got a lot to see in that video.
Mm-hmm. And finally, Matt Jopison says, I checked after listening to your most recent Quantum Leap episode. The grandfather of Martin Luther King was named James King, and the great-grandfather was named Nathan. It does appear that the last name was changed to King after emancipation. The original name was Branham or Branham or something along those lines. So yes, I don't think I recall seeing Matt comment before, but yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, our listeners doing our homework for us.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, so finally, Stacie, your thoughts on the penultimate episode of Quantum Leap.
Memphis Melody. This is a fun one. I like all the music. It's in the 50s, which is where I like to be. That's my favorite era. So I think it's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, it's gimmicky. He's Elvis. Anytime we're doing these, famous person episodes, you're going to have mixed responses on how people feel about it, but I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah, I think it might actually be the best version of this episode, because at the end of the day, Sam is not trying to prevent Elvis from dying. He's not trying to change anything in Elvis's life. The story, when it comes down to it, actually doesn't have anything to do with Elvis himself, even though he has to kind of keep his career on track. The story ends up being more about Suzanne than Elvis himself.
Suanne.
And
your notes say Suzanne the whole way?
It does, yes. So I'm going to make that mistake about 20 more times. But, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's why it's actually an improvement over the other episodes. It's not like, Lee Harvey Oswald were trying to prevent JFK from being assassinated or Marilyn Monroe from dying.
Right.
It's really not an Elvis story at all. It just happens to be, centered around him. If that makes any sense. It's a pretty lightweight episode. I mean, there's nothing too deep here. But, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Where was
Elvis.
It? Elvis, yes. Elvis.
Elvis is in the building.
Yes, Elvis. Oh, yeah. One of the reasons why this episode is actually kind of fun is because Dean Stockwell as Al Calvici is actually in the episode quite a bit, which is a stark contrast to the series finale, where we depressingly only have the one scene between Sam and Al in the series finale, which is something that really, really makes me sad. But anyway, this episode has a ton of great scenes between the two of them. And yeah, do we have anything else to say before diving in?
I think we should go for it.
All right. So Sam leaps in to a couple of goons who seem like they want to give him a friendly haircut. We see a mirror image and realize Sam is left into Elvis Presley. Credits. The mirror image is played by Michael St. Gerard. 15 credits for him, including one as Elvis in the series titled Elvis, go figure. Also in Life Goes On and Beverly Hills 90210.
He also played Elvis in 2 films, one called Heart of Dixie and another called Great Balls of Fire.
Okay.
So he was a fairly recurring Elvis impersonator.
Not quite as much as the woman who played Marilyn Monroe in the Marilyn Monroe episode. When we come back, Sam marvels at his image, fights off his attackers with the help of Elvis's best friend Red, played by John Boyd West. This is the son of Red West. Who he's actually, so he's basically playing his father in this episode, and it will not be the only time that he does that.
Yeah, he also plays his father in the 2005 CBS Elvis show.
And he was also in the Ernest Green Story, 2 episodes, we just mentioned that. Yeah, basically he had 15 credits in total. Sam thanks him for helping him, and Red asks, since when doesn't he help? Doesn't he basically do that all the time? And then we cut to a talent show, and a very annoying pig that's up on stage that the crowd seems to like. I don't understand why, but whatever. Sam and Red in the audience are there when Al shows up 3 minutes and 33 minutes into the episode. Very starstruck Al says that Elvis is in the waiting room, and Ziggy is apparently very starstruck as well.
Yeah, Ziggy doesn't know why he's here because she's starstruck. I mean,
Yes.
does Ziggy ever know why he's here?
No.
So that's a really poor excuse.
Right, yes. Sam pretends like he's doing warm-ups with his voice to talk to Al and not look like a crazy person to Red. We see Susan up on stage. She's
Sue Ann Winters.
Sue Ann Winters.
Yeah.
She starts to sing. Red thinks she's going to upchuck, and she runs off, overcome with nervousness. Sue Ann is played by Mary Elizabeth McGinn, 333 acting credits. When you see that many credits, it's usually a ton of voice work that's involved, and she's no exception. She actually does have a lot of voice credits to her work.
Hundreds of voice credits across all different genres. She's done tons of video games, cartoons. She also is the voice director on a whole bunch of projects.
97 additional crew credits as a voice director.
I'm not sure what that means exactly, but
she directed people who were doing voices, I guess.
Yeah.
So Sam tries to comfort her off stage, but she runs away to go puke. Sam says to Al he knows he's working that Ziggy is working at diminished capacity, but Ziggy has to have some idea what he's here to do. Al goes on to talk about the talent show and how this is a very important time in Elvis's life just before he gets discovered. Sam says Elvis did that just fine on his own, so that can't be why he's here. Al tells him that he's not there to help Elvis, he's there to help Sue Ann.
Yeah, I found it funny because we were just told we have no idea why you're here. And then in the next breath, Al says there's an 81% chance you're here to help Sue Ann.
Right.
When did you run that? Because you just said you have no idea. And we just met Suzanne. Now you got me doing it.
I'm sorry.
We just met Sue Ann. So when did we look her up and decide there's an 81% chance you're here to help her?
Yep. Sam wants to go find her, but Al says he can't. The reason is because no matter what, he cannot screw things up for Elvis, and he's next to go up on stage. Sam gets up on stage and basically bombs. Well, Al basically chastises him, saying, I know you can do better than this. We cut to the diner.
And, I didn't think he did that bad.
No?
I mean, he didn't have, it wasn't this super, enthusiastic performance, but it wasn't bad.
It's better than I would have done.
I mean, sure. And here's the thing, where this is probably the part of this episode that I have the hardest time wrapping my head around is we're being oh, you stink because obviously you're not Elvis, right?
Right.
At the same time, the whole point of doing musical episodes is because Scott Bakula is a good singer.
Yes.
And then throughout the rest of this episode, he's going to actually impress people about how well he can sing, and he gets Elvis signed.
Yes.
So where's this disconnect that he's terrible right now? We're telling him you're so bad, but tomorrow you're going to pull it off and be Elvis.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
It's weird.
It is.
That we're just hitting both ends of the extreme.
Right.
Even to the point where eventually they're oh, well, I think you fixed everything, but you must still be here so you can fix things for Elvis.
Right.
Well, if that was the case, it'd make more sense for you to leave so Elvis can come fix things himself because he's actually Elvis and can sing.
Right, yeah. All right. So we cut to the diner where we will be quite frequently.
This is Taylor's Diner, which is where Sue Ann and her sister Julie work.
Sam and Red are eating. Red is curious what happened. I don't even remember what Sam's excuse was here, but Sam calls Sue Ann, who's waitressing, and calls her Miss, which confuses Red. Red makes fun of him. Oh, yeah. Red ends up making fun of her, which sends her off. Sam once again goes to comfort her, and Sue Ann says he has never paid her any mind before, so why is she paying her attention now? Sam says stage right could be a good thing because it gets the knees moving. Julie, who I believe is Sue Ann's sister,
yes,
flirts with Red till Sue Ann scolds her. And Julie is played by Melissa Bernheim, which I believe is in some relationship to the writer of this episode, Robin Bernheim.
Yes, some relationship. I didn't write down which, but this is her only acting credit, which I think is a shame because I think she did a pretty decent job.
I would get that pen for you, but I cannot reach it.
I got it.
Okay. Red makes fun of her. Oh yeah, never mind. Okay. Sam tries to get her to try and dream, to reach for the stars, not the ceiling. Sam asks her what her favorite music is. She says gospel. Sam insists she sings right then and there, and they end up starting to sing Amazing Grace together, and while the entire diner cheers them on.
Including some people joining in, like the cook starts playing the harmonica, and, everyone in the diner is just enjoying this show.
You know what? My question is, who is managing this place, and why aren't they hey, what are you guys doing? Get back to work.
I mean, that seemed to be Sue Ann's role in telling her sister to get back to work, so maybe she's in charge right now.
Okay. Well, she's doing a bad job.
She's doing a bad job. During this song, we have some background people to mention. We have the little girl in the booth. That's actually Scott Bakula's daughter, Chelsea.
Okay.
So she had a little background cameo appearance watching her dad sing. And then we had two people listed as Guy and Diner. And they're the ones that near the end of the song, they're just kind of... this is where Sam and Sue Ann end up at the end of the song right next to them. And they're really like... a little too involved in it, I think. They're like a foot away, just like, I don't know. It was weird looking. But this is Mark Thompson and Brian Phelps.
Okay.
They are radio talk show hosts that hosted a show together at the time that this was airing. And they also both appeared in the movie Jason Goes to Hell.
Ooh. All right, so afterwards, the whole thing was a success. Sam ends up getting a hug. Sam says she's amazing. Red calls for another one while sitting her on the counter. And then her fiance comes in. This would be Frank Bagley, played by John Scott Clough. 39 credits for him, including Herman's Head, Step by Step. And his last credit was actually Jag.
Okay.
Frank isn't impressed by Susan singing and starts getting into it with Sam. Sam suggests he join them for food. But Frank says he doesn't eat with barnyard animals. I don't know what's up with that insult, but whatever.
Yeah, I get the impression there's been some rivalry between them. My guess, and this isn't really founded in the episode, but my guess is Sue Ann has a crush on Elvis.
Okay.
And he knows that. So I think that I would guess that's where the animosity comes in.
Gotcha.
Now, she already said that he never paid any mind to her, so I don't think Elvis shared this at this point.
Right.
But I think she noticed him, is my guess.
My question is, Red makes a big deal out of, since when do you call her Miss, when usually you just call her Sue Ann? So there is some familiarity there.
Right, I mean, apparently they eat here every day. They're friendly with each other.
Gotcha. Sam says to Red that Frank treats her... Oh, yeah, okay, basically... Frank ends up dragging Sue Ann out there and putting Julie in charge of her shift. And then Sam says to Red that Frank treats her like he owns her. Red suggests there are plenty of other fish in the sea. Julie says that Frank is quite the catch, owning a shoe company. Al says that Suzanne married Frank and he was pretty liberal with the back of his hand. Sam says he can't let that happen.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm changing my mind now. Maybe Elvis already did have a thing for her, for Red to make the comment, like there's other fish in the sea. Kind of implies that Red thinks Elvis has a thing for her.
Right, and later Al will say something similar to that effect.
Right. But Sue Ann didn't know it because she's like, you've never paid any attention to me before.
Right.
So they probably both had a crush on each other and didn't know it.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah, I think I've been there. There was at least one time where you confirmed that that's what happened to me. But...
I mean, I think everybody's been there.
Right.
At some point in their life.
Sam has dinner with Elvis's mother, played by Garn Stevens, 22 credits for her. This being her last. She was also in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which had absolutely nothing to do with the Halloween series in general.
That was their attempt at being anthology.
Right.
It didn't go well.
No kidding.
She also was in 24 episodes of Phyllis and an episode of Family Ties.
Yes, I got that one. And she was also in All in the Family. She died on April 2nd, 2023, which is pretty recent. Sam starts making her promises about a better life by becoming a famous singer.
We skipped a scene, actually. Yeah. I'll just backtrack to it quickly. It's the scene where Al and Sam talk, and we find out that tomorrow he's supposed to be recording a record at Sun as a gift for his mom.
Oh, okay.
And this is where he's supposed to impress Marion Keister, who plays the record for Mr. Phillips, and the whole recurring theme of you can't mess that up, you gotta do exactly what he did.
Right.
And that starts by getting home because you're late for dinner.
Right.
Which is where we picked up with seeing the mom.
So, Sam is in the recording studio, playing for Marion Kaiser, played by Lisa Jane Presley. I don't think that's right.
Persky,
yeah, that's a typo. 69 credits, including NYPD Blue, The X-Files, and Murphy Brown.
She also was in 2 episodes of Invasion, the old one, not the new one.
I saw that, and I knew you were going to shout it out, so I didn't bother.
I liked that show.
I know you did.
And she was in When Harry Met Sally.
Actually, the only reason that would stand out to me is because you brought it up on the podcast a couple of times.
Have you watched that one?
I have not.
It's one of those one-season shows that got canceled. It's about...
there are no shortage of those, that's
There's no
sure.
shortage. I think I have it on DVD.
Do you now?
It's about alien body snatchers, like lizard people, that come and take over the bodies of this town. And then there's like a hurricane or something.
Sounds complicated.
And then it ends, because it's only one season.
All right, so Sam argues with Al, which does not go unnoticed by Red. And eventually Sam is forced to start. He doesn't like the song, so he ends up singing Blue Christmas.
This is another spot where I have a problem. Because yesterday, right, Al's telling Sam, you got to do exactly what he does. You can't mess this up. It's so important. So why are we waiting till we're in the recording studio for Al to tell Sam what songs he's supposed to be singing?
Right.
Why did we not practice these last night together?
The other thing is,
to prep for this.
What was the song that was a trivia question in our trivia video that everybody said we were wrong?
Blue Christmas.
This is the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were right.
Okay.
We got gaslit by our friends telling us that Sam did not sing Blue Christmas for Elvis's mother, and he very much did. Now, we don't see it on screen. They cut from it. We don't actually see him perform that song, but that's the song he ended up recording.
So Sam tries to get her to get Mr. Phillips to hear it. And Sam tries to get him to go to the talent show, but Marion says she's the one that screens the local talent. Al gives Sam 90% odds that he will win over Marion at the talent show. And then we see Susan is before him. She starts to blow it. She starts to get to a point where she's about to run off stage and puke.
Oh, before she goes on stage, got to mention we have a cameo here by a child who's meant to be a young Bill Clinton.
Oh, okay.
The little boy that they announce as Bill C. from whatever town Bill Clinton's from, playing the saxophone.
See, I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
Nope.
Yeah, that's the insinuation there, is that that's Bill Clinton.
Okay.
And Al notices and is like, but doesn't say anything.
Gotcha.
Probably because when was this filmed? Was Clinton president when this was filmed? Probably.
93. I think he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to actually say it, but they said it.
Gotcha.
Sam's met a lot of presidents.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess he has. So, Sam leaps up on the stage to save her. See what I did there? And together they manage to do an amazing job and get a standing ovation. Marion is so impressed that she basically wants to get both of them for tomorrow at noon. Sam and Susan are excited. Al significantly less so.
He's in panic mode.
Right.
He's like, no, this isn't what's supposed to happen. You're breaking things.
Yeah. Basically, Elvis was not supposed to be a double act. Al goes on to say that the chance of them both getting a contract is 19-1. Sam says Ziggy has been wrong before. He says Suzanne is special. Sam starts talking about Elvis's late life, implying maybe if you were with Susan, he wouldn't have died when he did. So again, he's thinking about trying to...
He's trying to change everything right now.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, maybe they belong together and they should be an act together and live happily ever after and forget Elvis and forget Priscilla and we're just going to write a whole new history.
Right.
Sam's, I don't know what he's doing, but Al doesn't like it.
So this conversation is interrupted by Frank, who wants a friendly chat, which of course is not going to stay friendly for very long. Sam tries to take the high road. Frank doesn't go for it. They are soon fighting. Sam seemingly has the upper hand. Red comes in trying to break it up, which is interesting because I figure you would be like all for Elvis kicking somebody's ass. But Suzanne ends up interrupting the fight and gets mad at them for picking on poor old Frank. And this seemingly turns Suzanne against them, or specifically Sam.
Right.
We have another scene with Elvis's mother, who chastises him for fighting, and Sam once again talks about her awesome life that she's about to have. Sam narrates about how the 50s were an innocent time, and that Elvis embodied the American dream.
Yeah, and he was talking about how, hey, Elvis is just a regular person. Who knew?
So Al appears at the diner to tell Sam that Frank is picking her up and leaving town at 2.
Yep, they're running off to get married.
Sam goes off to get her. Al objects, saying he can't mess things up for Elvis. He can't get to her house and back in time for the audition. Sam's going to try to do so anyway and tells Al to forget Ziggy, not for the first time. Probably for the last time, though.
Yeah.
Sam argues with Suzanne about coming to the audition. Sam asks her what does she have to lose and convinces her to do so. They run to the studio, but it's locked. Suzanne says this means it wasn't meant to be. Sam sounds almost desperate here. And Suzanne says goodbye. Al says he isn't sure whether to feel bad for him or to tell him he told him so. Al tells Sam that Mr. Phillips is at the diner having dinner. He goes to meet Mr. Phillips at the diner. He's played by Gregory Itzin. 184 credits for him, including Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, Enterprise, which means he probably had a reunion with Scott Bakula in that series. In fact, I think I remember him doing so. And 24, and plenty of other things.
An episode of Once Upon a Time.
Okay.
I got that one. Were all of those the same character?
No, they were all different characters. Yep.
Okay, so one of those guys.
In fact, he had 2 appearances on Deep Space Nine as 2 different characters.
Okay.
And he died on July 8th in 2022.
And the person he's having a meal with is the character of DJ Dewey Phillips, who is played by Fraser Smith. He was in films such as Electric Dreams and Transylvania Twist.
Electric Dreams. That was a recent series, right?
No, this was a film an old film.
Because there's actually a series on Amazon Prime that's called Electric Dreams. It's like an anthology series.
Right.
Not the same thing, though.
Not the same thing.
Okay. So Sam eventually talks him into giving him a chance with the help of Julie. And by the way, Gregory Itzin is a pretty prolific character actor. He was pretty much in everything at one point or another. So at the studio, he's having trouble picking a song.
Because at the original audition, the one he missed, Elvis was supposed to sing 2 songs, and but now that he's having this impromptu little audition in the middle of lunch, he's like, "Nah, you get 1."
Right. Eventually, he settles on Blue Moon, and during the performance, Mr. Phillips smiles and seems like he likes it, but after says he will meet him next week, despite Sam trying to get him to hear one more. After Al says that Phillips ends up canceling on Elvis, and he doesn't end up getting discovered.
Yeah, which I find that silly.
Right.
Because this is Elvis. He lives in the same town as this dude.
Right.
The guy's not, like, leaving town forever. He's just going to Nashville for the day. And I get, like, oh, he's going to cancel on him, but you would think Elvis would just get recognized at some other point.
Right.
He's not going to just stop being good because he doesn't get heard this day.
I don't know. Maybe sometimes you get one shot and then you miss it.
I just think it's a silly idea.
So Sam ends up running off to the diner with a song and starts performing for Mr. Phillips in the diner with Al dancing along with him.
Yeah, he starts singing Baby Let's Play House, which is the next song Elvis would come to record after the one he didn't get to sing, which was That's All Right, Mama.
So Mr. Phillips is impressed. He signs him, and Al asks why hasn't he left? And it's because he has one more thing to do. Sam runs to find Sue Ann with her own audition. Frank stands in the way. Eventually says, that what she wants is something he can't give her. And then Frank gives her an ultimatum, like, get in this car right now or goodbye. And Suzanne says, bye, Felicia. And not literally, by the way. Frank shakes Elvis's hand, offers an apology, not sure why.
Yeah, that I felt was a little weird.
Right, I don't know what he's offering an apology for, to be honest with you. And then he leaves. Al says Suzanne signs a contract, doesn't have a big career, but basically she becomes one of his first fan clubs or something along those lines.
Yeah, she starts one of Elvis's first
Right.
fan clubs, and she does get to perform at the Opry, which was her dream.
Right. Suzanne wonders what to do next. Sam says she's going to keep reaching for the stars and keep on reaching until she touches them. They hug, and then Sam leaves. And he leaps into Al's Place bar
And sees himself in the mirror.
for the series finale.
We had a couple other people that appeared in this episode. I don't necessarily know when. We had a character named Bo. I'm guessing this is one of the guys at the beginning that was beating him up, but I didn't really confirm that.
There was a greasy guy that
Bo was played by Eric Bruscotter. He was in Quantum Leap twice before, actually.
Okay.
He was Red in the episode Liberation,
Okay.
and Glenn in the Me Too episode.
Okay.
He was in 4 episodes of Glee. He was in Starship Troopers and an episode of Jag. So if I really looked at these people, I probably could have figured out which one he was, since he was in 2 other Quantum Leap episodes. But
Yes.
he's in there somewhere.
Yep.
Like you said, we also had a greaser, Elliot J. Brown. This was an uncredited role. But he played Stuart in Return of the Evil Leaper.
Okay.
So we were already in this thing where we're bringing back a bunch of people for no apparent reason.
Right.
There was a cute girl, played by Stephanie Scott, who was in 2 episodes of The Wonder Years.
Well, she sounds cute.
Not sure who she was. Maybe somebody in the diner.
I'm sure
when
she
they
was,
were all
I'm sure she was cute though.
I'm sure she was.
Yeah.
Sure she was. And then there was a violin player, was played by Bob Harks. He actually, we've talked about him before. He was also in the background of Liberation as a club member. And in the Leap Back, he played a townsman.
Okay. Gotcha.
And he was also in several Alien Nation movies, 12 episodes of 90210, and Forrest Gump.
All right. So, next time we meet, or not us.
Next time we cover Quantum Leap
Yes.
together.
We're going to be recording the series finale
Yeah.
image. And we're going to have a guest with us.
Hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully that comes through.
Right.
And we don't... I mean, I'm sure. If we can't... I think we'd delay it rather than do it without him.
Right. Yeah. So we're going to do Brian Green from the Alice Place QuantumLeap.com. He's been on the show plenty of times before. So yeah, we're going to have him join us for the final episode of this series. Once again, I'm going to say that just because we're covering the final episode does not mean we're going to stop there. We will wrap around and do all the episodes that we did not do together.
Right. Which is a lot of episodes.
Yes. And on the one hand, I'm kind of looking forward to it, talking about Mirror Image with Brian Green. On the other hand, I'm very much not at the same time. Because it's an episode I've been dreading talking about for years. Not just because it's the final episode of Quantum Leap and it means that the journey has come to an end, though not really. But also because it's just... my feelings about it are just so complicated.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
That's why we got to talk about it.
Right. It's like a 30-year-old gaping wound that Deborah Pratt did help heal a lot. Giving me her reasoning for why what happens in the episode does happen. But yeah, it's going to be definitely an interesting show for sure.
Yes.
All right. Do we have anything else to say before concluding?
No.
No. That was a very dramatic pause for the no. All right, we'd like to hear from you. What you think of this episode? What you think of this podcast? Stacie can be reached at.
I can be reached on Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at TV and Coupon Talk.
If you like this video and want to support the channel, there are a number of ways to do so. You can follow me on Twitter at Core Productions. You can join the Core Productions membership starting at 99 cents a month. You can join the Corn Productions Facebook page. You can buy something from the Corn Productions store on Zazzle. You can buy me a copy. And of course, you can like, share, and comment on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. This is Dave and Stacie from Corn Productions, signing off.